60 picks. And what I found out was, I want to say, for like a 40-year period, every national champion we had at least 3 future top 60 draft picks, except for there was one team way back when, and then there was the Syracuse team that had Carmelo Anthony. It only had 2 future pros on it, but like one of them was Carmelo Anthony, so whatever. And so basically the guideline became, you better have at least 3 future pros on your team or you can't win the national championship. Like, it's a really rare thing. You can go to a Sweet 16 or an Elite 8 or a Final Four, but if you're trying to cut nets in April, you better have 3 pros. And so, like, look at Duke last year. They had 4, you know? They at least had 3. They at least had 3 in their starting lineup, right? Yeah. And depending on what happens with the rest of that roster, you could argue 4, but whatever. And so if you start looking for teams this year that meet that criteria, Maryland's got more than anybody else. Maryland's got 4 projected top 60 NBA draft picks. So that team has never clicked. I don't think the pieces fit together perfectly. But if you just want to look at who's got the most NBA talent, it is Mark Turgeon's team.
And Kansas is the team that doesn't necessarily have it, despite being really, really good. More of the Michigan State model than the Maryland model, right?
Well, that is funny, right? Because that's the number 1 overall seed, and they've been terrific all year.
They've been unbelievable.
If they don't make it and win the whole thing, one of the things people will point out was, they didn't have the prerequisite number of pros. Now, I do think they have pros, but they're not necessarily in the starting lineup, right? Wayne Selden will probably be a second-round pick. Perry Ellis could maybe be a second-round pick, and then let's just say Sheik Diallo goes on and becomes a first-round pick someday. Well, then they would actually have the number of pros according to the criteria set forward. But this isn't like last year's Duke team with 3 first-round picks in your starting lineup, or